You are sitting at a small wooden table in the back kitchen of a dim farmhouse outside the village of Corleone, Sicily, on the night of October 11th, 1973. It is 9:15 in the evening. There are 4 men in the room. The one across from you is named Salvatore Riina. He is 42 years old. He is the man who in 20 years' time will be called the Beast of Corleone and who will sit at the head of the table where Italy's prime ministers will be afraid to sit. The man on his left is the Consigliere of the Corleonese family. The man on his right is your sponsor. The 4th man is holding in his right hand a printed paper image of the Madonna of Trapani, and in his left hand a small open penknife. He pricks the index finger of your right hand. He drips your blood onto the paper image. He holds the image to a single candle on the table. The image catches and begins to burn. He places the burning paper into the open palm of your hand. He says one sentence. The sentence is, "May your flesh burn like this paper if you ever betray Cosa Nostra." You repeat it. The paper burns out in your hand. The 4 men shake your hand. You are now a Soldato of the family of Corleone. This is your life as every rank of the Sicilian Cosa Nostra. Rank 0, Picciotto, the street kid. You are born in the village of Corleone, in the province of Palermo, on March 14th, 1957. Your father is dead. He has been dead since 1953. He was a small farmer who spoke once at a town meeting against the Greco family and who was found 3 weeks later in an irrigation ditch with 2 bullets in the back of his skull. Your mother does not speak about him. Your mother does not speak much about anything. She works as a maid at the chateau of the Sinisi family on the road south. You are the youngest of 4 boys. By the time you are 7, you have learned 3 rules of the Sicilian street. The first rule is that you do not speak to police. The second rule is that you do not speak to outsiders about families. The third rule is that you do not speak. You learn these by watching what happens to the small grocer on Via Roma, whose 9-year-old son once told a polizia officer the make of a car. The grocer disappears for 3 days. He returns. He never opens the shop again. You are 11, and you begin to run errands for the local Capodecina, a man named Don Calogero. The errands are small. You carry a folded piece of paper from one cafe to another. You do not read the paper. You are paid in candies. You learn the names of the streets and which corner is whose. You learn which cafes are which families. You learn to whistle a particular tune when a stranger appears at the end of the block. The whistle is not a song. It is a code. By the time you are 14, you have whistled it 11 times. Rank 1, Avvicinato, the associate. You are 17, and it is the summer of 1974. You are introduced by Don Calogero to a Soldato of the Corleonese family who has been recently transferred from the family of Riesi. He is named Antonio. He needs a young man to drive a small Fiat 500 back and forth between Corleone and Palermo 3 days a week. You agree. You do not ask what is in the trunk. You learn, in the back kitchens of the cafes where you are made to wait, the second set of rules of Cosa Nostra. The second set has only one rule. The rule is that you never enter a room without first looking through the door, and you never leave a room without first stopping at the door. You will follow this rule for the next 30 years. It will save your life on 3 separate occasions. You drive the Fiat for 14 months. The trunk is never opened in your presence. You do not ask. You are an Avvicinato. You are not yet a man of honor. In June of 1973, you are tested. Antonio gives you a small wooden box on the morning of the 11th. He tells you to drive it to a particular abandoned olive press near the village of San Giuseppe Giotto. You drive, you park, you wait. A second man appears at 4 in the afternoon. He looks at you for a long time. He takes the box. He gives you an envelope. You drive back to Corleone. The envelope contains 5,000 lire. You give the envelope unopened to Antonio. Antonio smiles. He tells you, 3 weeks later, that the box contained the severed right ear of a man named Giuseppe Russo, who had been kidnapped 2 days earlier by the Greco family. The ear was in transit to the family of Russo. You did not know. You will never tell anyone what you did not know. You are now considered for the next rank. Rank 2, Soldato, Maid Man. The night of October 11th, 1973, in the back kitchen outside Corleone, with the burning paper in your palm. The vow you take is 2 words long. The 2 words are silenzio assoluto, absolute silence. You are now sworn.
you will be addressed for the rest of your life as uomo d'onore, a man of honor. You will swear, that night, to obey every order from your Capodecina, and your Sottocapo, and your Capofamiglia, and the Cupola, the interfamily commission of all the Sicilian families, without question, without delay, without exception. The penalty for breaking the oath is 1 bullet. The bullet will not necessarily be for you. The bullet may be for your son. It may be for your wife. It may be for your mother. The Cupola decides. You spend the next 6 years as a Soldato of the Corleone family. You do whatever you are asked to do. You collect protection payments from a parade of small shopkeepers along Via Maqueda in Palermo. You collect protection from a parade of construction site managers across the Conca d'Oro. You drive at speed away from a butcher shop on Via dell'Orsa Maggiore on the morning of December 21st, 1975, with a man named Luigi Caruso bleeding in the back seat from a single bullet you fired into his chest 17 seconds earlier in the back room of his shop. You are not asked, ever, to discuss it. You do not. You execute, on the morning of August 14th, 1976, in the back room of a fish wholesaler in Palermo, a man named Giovanni Mazza, who has been suspected by the family of stealing 200,000 lire from the Friday morning collection. The execution is your 4th confirmed kill. You shoot Mazza twice in the chest with a Beretta 7.65 that has been wiped clean, and that you will throw, 2 hours later, off the end of the pier at Mondello. The body is rolled in plastic and is delivered that evening to a known dumping site in the Conca d'Oro. The family will tell Mazza's widow, 3 days later, that he has fled to Brazil with the missing money. She will believe it. She will believe it for 41 years. She will learn the truth in 2017 when a Pentito, who was present at the execution, lists Mazza's name in his deposition. You execute on the night of June 3, 1978, a Soldato of the family of Bontate named Vito Lucchese, who has been observed entering the home of a Carabinieri lieutenant in Cefalu twice in the same week. The Cupola has not, at this point, ruled on whether the entries constitute betrayal of silenzio assoluto. The Corleone Capofamiglia decides, on the family's own authority, that the entries do constitute betrayal. You are sent to deliver the answer. You shoot Lucchese once, behind the left ear, in the kitchen of his home, in front of his wife and his 8-year-old daughter. The wife and the daughter are not harmed. The wife will tell the Italian press in 1996 that the man who shot her husband had looked her directly in the eyes for nearly 7 seconds before he turned and walked out of her kitchen. The Italian press will print the description on the front page of La Repubblica. You will recognize, in a printed photograph, the same face you have shaved every morning for 20 years. Rank 3, Capodecina, Captain. In April 1979, you are promoted by the family. You are 22 years old. You are now responsible for 10 soldati.
The 10 men work, every Friday morning, in a vacant olive grove outside the town of Corleone, where you distribute the family's instructions for the coming week. You distribute also the family's protection income for those soldati. The income is paid in cash. The cash is delivered to you every Thursday evening by a courier of the Consigliere. The courier is a 15-year-old boy named Pasquale, who will, in 1992, be killed in his own bed by a Soldato of the Bagheria family. You will attend his funeral. You will not speak. In 1981, the Second Mafia War begins. The Corleonesi family of Salvatore Riina goes to war against every other Sicilian family at once. The war kills, between January 1981 and December 1983, more than 1,000 made men of Cosa Nostra. The streets of Palermo are red on the mornings of certain Thursdays. You are placed, as a Capodecina, in charge of 2 of the most violent operations of the war. The first is the elimination on the morning of November 30th, 1982, of the Consigliere of the Inzerillo family. You drive the lead car. You watch the Consigliere's silver Mercedes for 16 minutes. You give the signal. 2 soldati on a Vespa drive past the Mercedes and fire 7 rounds through the driver window. The Consigliere lives for 40 seconds. The second operation is the elimination, on the morning of February 4th, 1983, of the entire 8-member family of a Soldato of the Bontate family, who is suspected of having broken silenzio assoluto. The Soldato is killed first, his wife is killed second. His 3 children, aged 9, 7, and 4, are killed 3rd, 4th, and 5th. His mother and his mother-in-law and his father-in-law are killed 6th, 7th, and 8th. You are present at all 8. You give the signal each time. Rank 4. Consigliere. Advisor. In 1985, you are promoted again. You are 28 years old. You become the Consigliere of a sub-family of Corleonesi headquartered in the town of Bagheria. The role of Consigliere is to advise the Capofamiglia and to mediate between him and his soldati. You are required in this role to know the personal history of every made man under the family's authority. You are required to know which soldato is sleeping with which other soldato's wife. You are required to know which soldato has begun to drink. You are required to know which soldato has begun to talk to a priest. You report all of these things to the Capofamiglia. The Capofamiglia decides. Rank 5. Sottocapo, underboss. In 1988, the Capofamiglia of the Bagheria family is killed by a faction within his own family. You are the only man of the inner circle who survives the night. You become Sottocapo by simple subtraction. You are 31 years old. You are now answerable only to the Capofamiglia and to the Cupola itself. You attend, in your second year as Sottocapo, the meeting of the Cupola at which Riina himself reveals the full plan for the assassination of the prosecutor Giovanni Falcone. The plan is to detonate, on the highway between Punta Raisi Airport and Palermo, 400 kilograms of military-grade explosive directly under the magistrate's vehicle. The plan is approved by every man at the table. You are at the table, you raise your hand. The hand is your vote. You vote yes, rank 6, Capofamiglia. Boss. In 1990, the Capofamiglia of the Bagheria family, a man you have not personally killed, but who has died of a sudden heart attack in his sleep at the age of 53, leaves you the title. You are 33 years old. You become the boss of the family. The family has, under its authority, 142 made men, 678 associates, and weekly cash income of approximately 11 million lire. You attend, every quarter, the meeting of the Cupola, the inter-family commission of all the Sicilian families, in the back room of a particular olive press in the countryside outside the town of Sicily. You are seated, for the first time in your life, at a table where the man directly across from you is Salvatore Riina himself, the Beast of Corleone, the Capo dei Capi, the boss of all bosses, rank 7, Capo dei Capi, boss of all bosses. In January 1993, the Carabinieri capture Salvatore Riina at a stoplight on Via Bernini in Palermo. The capture is the result of, among other things, the testimony of a man named Tommaso Buscetta, who has in 1984 become the first major Pentito, collaborator with the Italian state, in the history of Cosa Nostra. The Cupola convenes within 48 hours of the capture. There are 7 men in the room. You are one of them. The Cupola votes, by a margin of 4-3, to elevate the Corleonesi nephew of Riina, a man named Bernardo Provenzano, to the title of Capo dei Capi. You are one of the 4. The vote is recorded on no piece of paper. There will never be a record of who voted what. You will know, however, for the rest of your life. So will the 3 other men who voted yes. So eventually will the Italian state. Rank -1, Pentito, collaborator. You are arrested on the morning of June 8, 1996, at a roadblock outside the town of Bagheria. The arresting officer is a young Carabinieri lieutenant named Giuseppe Linares. He is 26. He has known your face from photographs for 4 years. He looks at you across the hood of his car. He says one sentence. The sentence is finalmente, finally. You are taken to the Carabinieri headquarters in Palermo. You are placed in an interrogation room. The deputy prosecutor of Palermo, a magistrate named Anna Rossi, sits across from you. She places on the table, between the two of you, a single piece of paper. The paper is your cousin's testimony. Your cousin became a Pentito 11 months ago. Your cousin has named you in connection with 11 murders, 3 kidnappings, 14 extortions, and 1 bombing. You read the paper, you sign it. You are now a Pentito. You spend the next 28 years, from 1996 to 2024, in a maximum security wing of the prison of Sulmona, in central Italy, under the protection of the Italian state. You give, in those 28 years, more than 16,000 pages of testimony. You testify in 23 separate trials. You are responsible by your own count for the conviction of 143 made men of Cosa Nostra, including 6 Capofamiglia, 17 Consigliere, and 2 members of the Cupola. The members of the family that initiated you on the night of October 11th, 1973, in the back kitchen outside Corleone, hold a vote in 1998 on whether to kill your mother and your wife and your sister. They vote no. The reason is that the killing of women has been outlawed by the Cupola itself in the year 1992 in the aftermath of the Falcone bombing, on the grounds that the killing of women had begun to attract too much international attention. Your mother dies of natural causes in 2003. Your wife divorces you in 1999. Your sister never speaks to you again. This was your life as every rank of the Sicilian Cosa Nostra.